The final weekend of action in the Toyo Tyres Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship, and we're at a very wet and muddy croft. It's a double-header weekend, which means 2 rounds, one Saturday, one on Sunday. It's going to be action all the way. Last time out it was dry at Pembrey, and it was another chapter in the story of the title outcome between Derek Tohill and Julian Godfrey. This time it was Derek Tohill who triumphed, and the Irishman comes here just 2 points back. Julian Godfrey with his 2-point advantage in the championship. Derek Tohill is really the only man that can stop him. Steve Hill, best of the rest, he's third.
Steve, a properly wet weekend here at Croft Circuit, but you've got a lot of rally experience, haven't you, on top of your rallycross career so far? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I quite enjoy changeable conditions, and especially when it's wet like this, is quite good fun. Not great for the marshals and everybody else really, but as a driver it's not a big problem. It's a job to stop for that first corner. There's water running across the track, so there will be a few going the gravel track without a doubt, and for Q1 just do the best we can. Why not?
Bit of panic there this morning, car wouldn't start, but new set of plugs and she fired up, so we got out at the very end of practice, but it's going to be a tough weekend. It's kind of the reverse of Dakar or the Sahara out there. Yeah, it's that wet and muddy, so we'll just enjoy it, enjoy the driving, enjoy the wet weather, and yeah, see what happens.
It has been another day of drama in the supercar class, and Derek Tohill, after a clutch change, is now the man to watch and see what he can do in relation to the championship leader, Julian Godfrey. Tony Bardi, though, has had a good day. So too Steve Hill, who was quickest in Q1 and Q2. Bardi, the man that topped the times in Q3. So it's a topsy-turvy day in terms of who is at the top of the times. It means that Tony Bardi is going to be on pole for the final, with Steve Hill and Julian Godfrey on row 1, Derek Tohill, Steve Mundy on row 2.
Tony, a super drive in Q3, got ahead at the start and kept your head down, set the fastest time, pole position. You must be pretty happy with that.
I'm dead chuffed with that. I got to beat that Steve Hill at last. He's been bugging me all morning. We've been watching V-boxes and drinking energy drinks and all sorts, and I took it all. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Derek, you did miss Q2, but a solid time in Q3. You're back in the game inside of the second row for the final, not all's lost?
No, back in the game is right, Hal. So yeah, it was good to get a run. Boys done a good job. New clutch in the car, and new starter motor in it there now as well. So feel good for the final. Feel ready. Feel we can. Yeah, we're in there with a good shout. So let's wait and see.
Julian, we've just heard from your nearest title rival, Derek. Neither of you had a perfect day by any means. You're on the outside of the front row for the final. What's going to occur in the first corner from there?
It's going to be very difficult. I guess Derek's 4th on the grid, is he? He's 4th on the grid, so yeah, he could be diving up the inside, and so I don't know, really, just see how it goes off the start line, try and get a good start and get into first corner. That's what we're going to try, but see what happens. But yeah, do as best I can.
The grid for the final then is formed. Tony Bardi on pole position, Steve Hill with him on the front row, and Julian Godfrey, the championship leader, on the outside. Derek Tohill then. Row 2 with Steve Mundy for company. Andy Grant and Simon Horton go from the back. This could be a crucial race for the outcome of the championship. As the lights go green, it's blast off. Who makes the best start then on the run down towards Clervaux? On board with Hill. He does not make the best start. It's Godfrey and Tohill who pounds. Derek Tohill on the outside line, Julian Godfrey on the inside. Godfrey hangs on to it, Tohill goes wide, through the gravel, back on. Does he lose a place? No, Steve Hill's got a problem though. The Mitsubishi slows right down. So Godfrey leads. Second is Tohill. Bardi mugged off the line is third. And Steve Hill, after what had been a really encouraging day, is now a spectator even before turn 2. Steve Hill out of the race. The car stranded on the inside of the circuit. Can he get going again? It's looking unlikely as Godfrey leads them down to the end of lap 1. Locks the rear, scrabbles for grip. So Julian Godfrey, looking for a 4th win of the season, blasts his way now up towards the timing line, and Derek Tohill has lost second place, look, because Tony Bardi has got ahead of him. Steve Hill has rejoined, so the road is clear, and there is Derek Tohill powering his way towards the timing line, but not second anymore. He's down in 3rd, and this means he's got a lot of work to do. Bad news for the race, bad news for the championship. So up front it's Godfrey getting away. Tony Bardi runs wide, knocks over one of the floppy markers, indeed picks it up and gets briefly stuck to the front of the car. Into the chicane he goes. So Derek Tohill is down in third. What can he do about Bardi? And Steve Hill is off the road, down at the hairpin at the foot of the lap. That looks like an error rather than anything mechanical stopping him this time. Tony Bardi tries to narrow that gap to the race leader Julian Godfrey in this car, owned by Ollie O'Donovan. That run and prepped by Tony Bardi's company heads towards the timing line now. There is Derek Tohill down in third place. And he's not really being able to bring down that gap, is he? So for the moment, Derek Tohill looks as though it's going to be the third step on the podium for him in this race, and that's not great news for the championship point score, given that Godfrey leads the way. There is Julian Godfrey, the 5 times British Rallycross champion, and he's looking almost dominant right now as he comes through the chicane. You can tell that he's the race leader because the nose of the car is clean. Nobody else has such a luxury. There is Derek Tohill down in that third place. Where is Bardi in relation? He's still clear. Simon Horton in the Subaru goes through this ever-improving car. And he, in turn, is ahead of Steve Mundy with the Fiesta, a venerable Fiesta now. It's not one of the newer cars, that's for sure, but still well driven in the right hands. Now there, look, the lead gap has come right down. Tony Bardi on the back of Julian Godfrey. Well, he's done the hard work in terms of catching, but the harder work is about to come, because how on earth does he find a way past? The visibility is going to disappear, and to get past you have to go offline where it's more slippery on the tarmac, and it's very boggy when you get to the loose. So Tony Bardi now is in this really difficult position. Derek Tohill is closing up as well in third spot. What Bardi has got to do is try and force a mistake out of Julian Godfrey, but it's interesting to see the way that Godfrey's lap times are going up and how the pace is ebbing away. Is this him being cautious? Is this him with a problem? If it's a problem, that might throw the advantage back Bardi and indeed Tohill's way. Simon Horton then accelerating his way up towards the chicane. And a quick look around to see there, look, Julian Godfrey, but he is really under attack now, although Tony Bardi makes a mistake and slithers out wide. Tohill has dropped away again in turn. It's almost like every time he gets close, either he can't see or the thing overheats and he drops back. He can't stay close behind Bardi. Over the line goes Julian Godfrey. The race leader, the lap times are getting slower and slower, and the flamboyance has gone. It's almost like this is a banker drive for points, or maybe there is a problem for Julian Godfrey, because look, you can see the extra aggression, the extra vigour in the way that Tony Bardi is driving. Julian Godfrey, it's not quite a nurse home, but it's nowhere near as spectacular this, as though he's not pressing on or is unable to press on at 100%. Through the chicane goes Andy Grant a long way back. The leaders again down towards the hairpin. Julian Godfrey there gets sideways as the back skips over a little jump in the road. Bardi right on his tail now. Up towards the timing line. Tony Bardi putting in all the extra commitment, but the car moving around a little bit, and as it slides out, so he loses another length or two relative to Julian Godfrey, who goes down towards Clairvaux. He still leads the way. But these are almost circuit racing lines round the corners now, rather than spectacular sideways rallycross lines. Look at Bardi in contrast, understeer, oversteer, flinging the car around. Into the chicane once more, and now onto the loose. They make the run again down towards the final couple of corners. Further back, Andy Grant is still pushing hard. Good to see him in the final, good to see him going nicely. Derek Tohill is distant in that third place, giving away points to this man, Julian Godfrey. It looks as though Godfrey is going to be on target to win the final here at Croft. Checkered flag at the ready, and it's going to be win number 4 of the season. Julian Godfrey hangs on to score victory. Tony Bardi right with him as they come across the line. And third will go the way of Derek Tohill, but Julian Godfrey victorious. So, for the championship, Julian Godfrey now with a 7-point cushion. But still, one more round to go. The title is on the line. As ever, in the Toyo Tyres Motorsport UK British Rallycross Championship, the juniors have given plenty of action during qualifying for this penultimate round, with Luke Constantine the man to beat, ahead of Ben Sayer and James Constantine third. The grid for the final then is lined up and good to go. Luke Constantine, Ben Sayer, and then cousin James Constantine on the front row. Roberts Vithols and newcomer Harry Garman share row 2, ahead of Tom Ovenden, Alfie Porter and Patrick O'Donovan, who has struggled in qualifying. The lights go green. O'Donovan in the yellow car will be one to watch, that is for sure. You're on board with him now. Down they run towards Clairvaux corner. O'Donovan, winner at Lyddon in August. Round the outside, hoping there's going to be not only visibility but a bit of traction there. But look, he's got past 3, almost 4 already. Ben Sayer hits the front and way out wide goes in second place Luke Constantine. It's Robert Vittols up to third. Patrick O'Donovan goes fourth, and that might be third. It is third on the inside line. That was bold, and that means that dropping back is James Constantine, who was fifth, and he's now fourth just as they come through the chicane. Gets turned around though by Vittols. Big slide. Can he save it? Just about. Tom Ovenden now tries to find a way through the traffic and through the mud. These very challenging conditions for everybody, especially the juniors, as they come up towards the end of lap 1. The further through the day you go, the more that loose infield section cuts up, and Ben Sayer, with loads of understeer, scrabbles off the road and gift wraps the place to Patrick O'Donovan. O'Donovan goes through. Sayer, struggling for momentum, loses another place to James Constantine and gets in the way of others. Now it's Tom Ovenden who loses pace, and everybody comes slithering past him. In these underpowered Suzuki Swifts, as soon as you go off the road where it is wetter and more boggy, or you have to lift off for somebody having a moment, you are in real strife. So the leaders go through, and it is Luke Constantine leading the way. Harry Garman going through, new to the Junior Championship. Roberts Vittols accelerates through. And there you can see the recovering Ben Sayer. So now he's got himself onto the back of James Constantine. What can he do here as they come down towards the tight right? It's almost a hairpin, this corner, because it loops you round that gradual left up to the timing line, and Sayer not able to dive up the inside. Roberts Vittols, who dominated the Pembrey doubleheader in late May, right there as well. And here they come now towards the line once again. While they're squabbling, of course, the race leaders are getting away. Ben Sayer, winner at Pembrey last time out, ruining that mistake he made. Now there is the race leader, Luke Constantine, up front and trying to scarper into the distance, but a really good run by Patrick O'Donovan. From last on the grid up into second place. The battle pack for third goes through James Constantine, Ben Sayer, Roberts Vittols et al. Harry Garman adapting well, isn't he, to new track, new car, horrible conditions, suggesting if he stays on for another season, he's going to be well worth watching. Ben Sayer now makes his move. Rubs up alongside Constantine here. This for third place. Can Ben Sayer get his nose in front? Yes, he can, but he's on the outside line. It's the longer line, it's the slower line. He's going to have to give way, surely, as they come now down towards the hairpin. He's on the outside. He's going to get forced out wide and back up the inside to retake third goes James Constantine. Cousin Luke still leads the way. Runner-up in the championship last year. He does not want to be beaten again, so he is absolutely charging, no question, and more importantly, he is banking points. Patrick O'Donovan trying to keep his championship hopes alive here. Second he runs, but he's a long way back. Yes, he's managed to get through nearly the entire pack, but what he has not been able to do is close on the race leader. However, it is more points, and with a round to go tomorrow, if drama befalls Luke Constantine, it could play into Patrick O'Donovan's hands. Through the chicane he comes back onto the loose now, up through the gears. Now there, Ben Sayer defending from Vittols, having another go to go back ahead of James Constantine. And Vittols, the Latvian, is the man really pushing hard here. He's done well in the academy class in Rally X Nordic this season as well on his occasional visits. But right now, although Patrick O'Donovan here is doing the chasing, Luke Constantine is on target for what is going to be a fourth victory of the season. There is O'Donovan, and you can see just how boggy, how muddy the infield is there. Checkered flag at the ready, and over the timing line then now comes Luke Constantine to score the race win. Patrick O'Donovan is on target for second as he's hunting for traction all the time here, but he can't bring down the gap, and so it is the win for Luke Constantine, second to Patrick O'Donovan, and James Constantine should hang on to third. Confirmation of the results then. Luke Constantine the winner from Patrick O'Donovan, James Constantine for the podium from Roberts Vittols, Ben Sayer drops to fifth, and Harry Garman in sixth. Luke Constantine then with a 3-point advantage. Still heads the championship from Patrick O'Donovan. Robert Svitol's is third. It's Ben Sayer in fourth.
No, I was happy with last year. We're coming to second with my brother, but I'm not willing to come second again this year. I really want to win this year. So I had a really good start this morning, and I carried the momentum through the day, and then ended up taking a clean sweep and winning the final as well. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with that, and hopefully we can do the same tomorrow.
Went wide in Q1 and in Q2 actually. I ended up on the grass and in the gravel trap, and I was just stranded there. Couldn't do anything about it. Got a really good start, got alongside the front runners, and just managed to send it around the outside really. And I don't know why, but for some reason this track and just sending it works. So yeah, that's all I can really say.
Tristan Uvenden has already won the Super National Championship. Can he win yet another final? Uvenden fastest in Q3 and Q2, but he lost out in the opening qualifying run of the day. So the grid is formed. Tristan Uvenden lines up on pole position, unbeaten in a Super National final this year. Jarek Sukowicki lines up alongside him. Local man Guy Corner on row 1 ahead of Craig Lomax and Dave Ellis. Yellow blocks, Paige Bellaby and another local driver, Dave Ewan, out for the first time this year on the back row. The grid lights go green. Jarek Sukowicki missing from the front row, and Uvenden with all of that power on a slippery road gets the power down and blasts clear down towards Clairvaux. Two-wheel drive, mighty amounts of horsepower. In many ways, it's completely the wrong car for these conditions, and yet Tristan Uvenden masters it nicely. Guy Corner second, and then Paige Bellaby already up to third from the back row of the grid. Into the chicane, now bouncing their way across the loose section. Uvenden on pure pace, you can anticipate to get away. The road is wet, it's slippy, it's muddy, but it's actually not quite so bad as it was earlier on in the day. Now the rain seems to have stopped. Uvenden can at least get some of the power down more often. He can control the pace up front, doesn't have to worry now about a time, he can just go for a race win. Remember too, you've got Super Nationals and Super 1600s all merged together, and right now Craig Lomax is the best of those within the Super 1600 class, and he's right there, look, towering over the top of the Lotus in the hands of Paige Bellaby. Down to Clairvaux they go, and the Lotus it is that just has the advantage as they come into the right-hander, into turn 1 through Clairvaux corner. Real little and large battle going on here. The Super 1600 Citroën of Craig Lomax from the second row of the grid, back up the inside through Hawthorne. Is that going to be a place gained into the chicane? Yes it is, brakes late, squeezes by. That was a really good move. Craig Lomax goes through now. Picks up the place and makes the run once again across the loose section, that back part of the circuit. Lomax with bags of understeer, heading now down towards the hairpin. Now, Paige Bellaby in the wheel tracks, but in the mud, in the spray. Is she going to be able to find a way through? The danger is, of course, that the closer you get, the less you see. So you can't sit behind waiting for your moment to attack. You've got to do it from a long way back in these conditions. It's getting a little bit brighter, but right now, Tristan Uvenden leads Guy Corner, and they're third. Craig Lomax, the best Super 1600 driver in the race too. Turns his way into Hawthorne's. Blasts his way up towards the chicane, stands on the brakes. And that right rear wheel trying to prise itself clear of the ground. Paige Bellaby, however, is falling back. Now, is this a problem? Could be visibility, could be something more sinister. Into the chicane she goes. Rather antiquated looking, but very welcome Volvo in the hands of Yellow Blocks. Adds to the variety here this weekend. The true Super National class car. And they're going through. Dave Ellis with his Suzuki Swift. Tristan Uvenden, though, is on target for yet another win. He's unbeaten this season, and you can see why. Not a wheel wrong, even in these treacherous conditions. Paige Bellaby hustles on, trying to bring down the gap against the opposition if possible, and Guy Corner in a car that he's getting better and better with every time out, presses on. From his Peugeot 206 to the Lotus Exige, Guy Corner, the man from North Allerton, local man, getting quicker and quicker, and could be a real factor in Super National next season. Another local driver, Paige Bellaby, perhaps heading for a podium finish, but having dropped quite a long way back now. Let's wait and see what pans out. As skipping over the loose, down to the hairpin comes Guy Corner. He's close to Avondon, but he's not going to get close enough to challenge unless the V6 Clio has a problem. Yellow blocks, the much-travelled Belgian in the Volvo, fends off Dave Ellis. That Volvo is going to be a handful in these conditions as well, with the rear struggling for traction all the time. Avondon's on his last lap, through goes Guy Corner. The gap is not a massive one, but it is enough to suggest that there's only going to be one winner in this Super National final. Tristan Avondon then round Hawthorns. Makes a glorious noise, that car, especially on a long, fast section and in the dry, all of which is rather limited at Croft today. But as he comes onto the loose once again, Avondon is on target for victory, and there is Craig Lomax into the chicane. Tristan Avondon down towards the hairpin, and yet again the checkered flag is going to be for him. Guy Corner is closing, but not enough, I don't think, to take advantage, because all Avondon has to do now is just nurse it to the line. Checkered flag at the ready, and honours in the Super National final here at Croft go to Tristan Avondon. Guy Corner takes second. It's another win for the Clio. Let's look at the race results first of all. Tristan Avondon, the winner from Guy Corner. Craig Lomax third. Paige Bellaby third Super National, but fourth overall from Dave Ellis and Yellow Blocks.
Tris, super challenging conditions. You drive the least appropriate car in the entire paddock for those conditions. You've done well to master them today.
Yeah, it's really, it's been as bad as I've ever known it, actually. But yeah, all the work we've done for the last nearly 3 years with the car is really paid off. Yeah, we've got decent setting when it is wet. In contact in the first heat, actually, yeah, it's tapped me into a spin, but luckily it ended up facing the right way. Yeah, ran across the grass, and the grass actually is the wettest bit there is. It's almost like to do with a boat. It's tricky, yeah.
And another fantastic result. You debuted this car at Lyden. You've had drive shaft problems and brake problems, and you've been a bit up and down with it. That's the nature of developing a new car. But you must be really pleased with how it's going.
Oh, massively. It's I mean, from going out this morning in the slop to this afternoon, I literally. It's from chalk to cheese. It really is. It's a good car, and I'm getting to grips with it pretty quick. Like so, brilliant car. Yeah, I'm pleased with it. So,
but you've got a super amount of experience, not only in Rallycross but in autocross too, and that paid dividends.
Yeah, it paid dividends today with the wet conditions. The little Super 1600 loves this condition, so the rear wheel drives don't really stand a chance. In the final, the first run of it, I did get past them, but the red flags come out just at the wrong time. But that's the way racing goes, so we've just got to start tomorrow, and then we've wrapped the championship up in Super 1600. Yeah, all is good.
So, as far as the championship is concerned, Paige Bellaby is the best of the rest behind Tristan Avondon. Craig Lomax slips down to third ahead of Jarek Sukowicki and Dave Ellis.